Now, what is this martial law decree and how serious do things have to be for the country's leader to push for such a drastic move? We're joined by attorney An Jun-seong this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Right.
Sir, for our viewers who may not be so familiar with the idea, walk us through what the martial law order means here in South Korea.
Yeah, martial law basically under the South Korean Constitution, president have may actually discretion means that he may declare martial law in times of war, armed conflict, and similar national emergencies. So, Constitution, he has right to actually declare the martial law. The question is that whether there's some specific conditions has been met under the Korean Constitution. So, right, and then there has been about 16 times martial law, emergency one. There's two types, but emergency martial law declares 16 times since 1948, and the last one was 1979, October 1979. I guess those who watching this program may be not familiar with what happened in October 1979. There was the assassination of Park Chung-hee. So there was a very emergency situation that there was to declare the martial law. But the question now remains that whether we had some constitutional requirement was met when he declared martial law last night.
Right. Then speaking from a legal perspective, as we are speaking to you, are there, legal standards or criteria to adhere to for such a call to be issued to begin with?
Yeah, under the Korean Constitution, actually, President have discretion, right? And he may declare the martial law. However, there's two crucial requirements. First, he need to notify the National Assembly without delay. So, Korean Constitution did not specify how many days, like 14 days. Just say without delay means that immediately. So he's supposed to be notifying National Assembly. But however, according to the press, and I guess that even the people in the National Assembly so watched the news and they heard the news about the martial law, right? So there was no notification. And the other one is that into the process, and the State Council had to go to the deliberation of the State Council before declare the martial law officially. So we have to question remains whether or not he had complied with the procedural requirement under the Korean Constitution.
Right, lots of questions to be answered. What's happening now is that the leader of Yoon's party, that is Han Dong-hoon, is calling for the country's defense minister, who apparently proposed the whole idea to the president, to be fired. If that proceeds as planned, what legal steps lie ahead for the defense minister then?
Well, I think that's a very difficult question to answer, right? And theoretically or legally speaking, right, he could end up with the treason charge against him, right? So under the Korean Criminal Code, the maximum penalty is death penalty and minimum is about 5 years. So this is very serious charge against whoever committed or attempt to commit the treason. But however, under the Korean Constitution also, that even the president, if we charged for the treason, that's no protection for the prosecution. So that's a very serious crime. It's not only against the Minister of Defense, and it could be against theoretically against the President Yoon.
Right, that's in line with my next question. There are voices that the president himself should be held responsible. Then what legal action can lawmakers and those who are trying to hold Yoon responsible take at this point? I mean, what legal options are on the table?
I think there's a political answer and the legal answer, right? The political answer, we have two. I think he has two choices: whether he step down immediately, like very soon, or that he just faced with the impeachment process, which will be very painful, right? And then it's time consuming as well. So I think he can make a the political judgment whether which way he want to take it. From the legal perspective, yes, the National Assembly can proceed with the impeachment process against President Yoon Song-yeol. Well, they need 1/3 of the vote to propose the motion for the impeachment. There's about that's 1/3, right? And there's about 101 vote, and then hit a supermajority. There's about 2/3, about 200 vote to actually get the impeachment done.
So you briefly explained the impeachment process, and I'd like to ask you, is this something that we saw back in 2017? Is this going to be a similar process, if that ever happens, dramatically speaking?
Yes, I guess it could be worse than that before, because at that time, then President Park Geun-hye didn't even have the the martial law issue, right? That's
right.
the unconstitutional, activity made by the president. Then president, I think this is very serious criminal charge against not only president and the military and a lot of the issues people involved in this the incident, right?
Alrighty, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.